number 19. Bernie, Bernie, oh yeah, how you can throw. Yeah, 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 yeah. Bernie, Bernie, oh baby, Super Bowl. He came from Miami, was oh so young. Rifles to the wizard, my one and gun. Takes the snap, drops back, looks down the field. Brennan breaks open, the victory seal. Bernie, Bernie, oh yeah, how you can throw. Yeah, 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 yeah. Bernie, Bernie, oh baby, Super Bowl. The dogs are barking, we're all having fun. Bernie will lead us to that place in the sun. He's got style and class, and he's 23. The MVP of the AFC. Bernie, Bernie, oh yeah, how you can throw. Yeah, 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 yeah. Bernie, Bernie, oh baby, Super Bowl. Bernie, Bernie. Cody and Bab, the blitz at bay. Give Bernie some time, he'll make the big play. He's got style and class at age 23. The MVP of the AFC. Bernie, Bernie, oh yeah, how you can throw. Yeah, 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 yeah. Bernie, Bernie, oh baby, Super Bowl. We gotta go, Super Bowl. We gotta go out, Super Bowl. Go Browns!
Hello, everybody. Tom Brode here, owner of Primetime Sports and Five Star Collectibles. We're here with my good friends Bernie Kosar and Cleo Miller. We're going to be doing a virtual signing today, and we're going to be talking about Kosar's Good Life, all of his merchandise and material that he has to get out there, so everybody knows what's going on with relief of pains and sufferings, and then we brought our good buddy Cleo here to pick on. We got to have somebody to pick on today.
We got our blocking full back here. We got our blocking back in front of us.
Exactly. So I'm gonna go away here now, and we're gonna start off with letting everybody know that you can ask questions tonight or claim autographs. So if you guys want to get autographs, you gotta message us online. Let us know what you want.
Just put it in comments what you want. We're gonna have product up tonight.
Yep.
All you have to do is put the letter and the item you want signed. We have photos, and all the prices include shipping. All the prices include shipping. You can follow on the tracker at the bottom of the screen there, and it'll give you all that information. If you have a specific question, you can message us.
And if someone would like your item tonight personalized, you can watch them sign it right in front of you while they're talking.
Like this item right here for Jimmy Fetter.
Like here, we have some earlier that Jimmy was asked to get, so we'll have it signed, and you'll be able to see your item for authentication purposes being signed on video. And feel free to ask questions while they're talking, and we're going to be interacting with everybody. So do us one favor before we start. Please share us out and let everybody know. Get on here, have some fun, and let's be part of our first virtual signing all together under the new format of Primetime and Bernie and Kosar's Good Life.
Well, Kosar's Good Life is a little boy growing up in northeastern Ohio as a high school and junior high kid. seeing the Pruitts as the first 2 tearaway jerseys, I'm going to be one of the first autograph guys asking for the Cleo Miller tearaway picture there.
Yeah, it wasn't the Pruitts now, it was the Pruitt Miller.
Well, you know,
we know.
Hey,
Yeah.
it's great. The running backs always get the glory. You know, the fullbacks never get the glory.
Never get the glory.
Never. But without the fullback, they wouldn't have their 1,000 yards, right?
We spent the past weekend at the Great Browns Backers event down in Beaver Creek, down outside of Dayton. And Cleo Miller is showing some of the great blocking forms of the fullback days when he had textbook positioning or body positioning. And I think, how did you describe it? The second greatest fullback in Cleveland Browns history?
Yeah, when you really go back and look at the records of the fullbacks that the Cleveland Browns have had, and if I'm not mistaken, Ernie Green would be number 1 and I would be number 2 on that list in terms of what we did, in terms of what the great running backs did because of our blocking and stuff, and how they went on to get fame and glory. But, it's just one of those situations when you're out there, you do a job, and regardless of whether you get the respect or people know who you are or not, you're out there to do that job and you're trying to win. So that's what I was trying to do. I never was a fullback when I was coming through high school and college, but my high school coach was light years ahead of his time. He taught me how to block. He called me horse. And he said, when all the other guys were down there on the field practicing running pass and catching the ball and defending it with the offensive line. I mean, with the quarterbacks. I was up on the sled with the offensive line hitting blocking sled. He's teaching me how to be a complete running back. So I was grateful to him today, and I didn't use him until I got into the Cleveland Browns, but it was well worthwhile.
I'm sitting there thinking about this as a guy, as a quarterback. Today, you see passing games, you see all the running. It's really not a glorious thing to be the fullback and blocking now. The great history of our Cleveland Browns, man, as you're saying yourself, Ernie Green. I'm biased towards the Kevin Mack days. Growing up, watching you open up the hole in there. We were chuckling beforehand, looking at you jacking up Jack Lambert, back in the day, and that seeing the level of blocking fullbacks that we've had that are complete players. It's almost a dying art in the NFL today, being that complete all-around back like that.
It really is. You got guys that specialize. God, if I could have been, it was specialized. They went to the specialized situation when I was playing. I'd have made pro all every year. Because I was truly one of the only backs on the team that could play both the halfback position and the fullback position fluently without missing a beat. And whenever one of the guys got hurt, they didn't have a halfback that they need to do things, I said, just step right into that role. Fullback, step right into that role. I even led the team in reception one year.
Well, pass catching, again, I'm not saying this to be a suck up or just being on Facebook Live, just to be nice and stuff. As a little boy growing up, seeing you catching the ball, blocking, and running the ball from the tailback position. And today, in the spirit of kind of specialized playing where guys kind of do one thing, seeing how the Cleveland Browns in the 70s, and I like to think I kind of took it for granted in the 80s of having all-around running backs like Ernest Biner and Kevin Mack, who tried to do and did the same type of roles of pass catching, run blocking, and then being able to run the ball like an elite tailback. That's really the trifecta of stuff that, man, the history of the Browns and the running back position, that's impressive.
The thing about it also, not only did I do those things, but I was the only running back that was actually in the offensive line beats. And they used to consider me as the sixth offensive lineman too. Meaning that if those guys missed something up front, I was back there and I was going to pick it up. They knew that Doug Deacon and Barry Darrell and Joe DeLamoliere, they always wanted to know where I was. If I was going to be in that backfield, they knew if they missed something, I would pick it up. So, it's that thing that backs today don't really do. You have to be a quarterback, and running backs have to be just like quarterbacks in a sense. They have to know everything a quarterback knows and see everything a quarterback sees, because you never know when you get down that field on a passing play, or if the receivers are running a route, they may be blocked for you when you get down there, get it, on the second level and stuff.
Well,
And also the holes and stuff. They have to know that as well. The only thing we don't do is hand the ball out there, and someone will do that at times.
yeah, for the young kids out there, for the young coaches out there, what Cleo's talking about there, the intelligence factor that you need to be in the backfield, to be a complete player in the backfield, the intelligence side of it is massively important. And when you couple that expectation of a fullback who mentally has to be as strong as anybody, as strong as a coach, and then basically being a glorified offensive lineman, the sixth offensive lineman, where you're banging heads like you do, like that physical toughness coupled with that intellectual challenge with that. That's a tough mix. How's your health these days? You know, I'm Mr. Health and Wellness now with the Kosar's Good Life. I'm trying to age out, keep us aging out good. You look good, but tell some of our fans what we're going through.
But I've had some trials and tribulations through my after I got out of professional football in the session. I've had massive blood clogs in both my ankles up into both my lungs. I've had glaucoma that left me blind in one eye. Had high blood pressure, all kinds of things that have actually happened to me. But through it all, I'm still here.
Yeah.
So, but you just try to find ways, and you try to keep yourself healthy. And like I said, I look like I'm one of the most healthiest people that around. But we have our little things that actually happen to us the older we.
Yeah, Cleo, and I'm not saying this, I'm getting emotional here. I love you to death. And I'm not saying this just to be on camera and do this, but I've talked at length over the last year or so, some of the health issues I've gone through. You mentioned some of the stuff we've talked off air. We see so many of our other brothers and ex-teammates and guys that have gone through so many of these issues and stuff that it's almost now like a responsibility for us to try to help and give back. And I've had a real blessing in terms of my health and wellness and being able to get myself healthy. Trying now, besides tonight, maybe raising money for ourselves, and that this is also part of what I do with the You Matter. And at some time, that we've talked about that we're going to be doing a primetime sports. We're going to be doing as the season starts here, being able to raise money through our foundation, You Matter, for some of the guys that aren't doing as well with some of the things that are going on from the health and wellness perspective, especially like with the Kosar's Good Life and part of the sport of football. It's been so awesome for all of us, but so many of us have had so many issues and stuff, and so many health and wellness things that are going on. So just some of the things that we do now, it's some of it's from a business standpoint, some of the stuff that from a business stuff we're a part of, but it's only a part of it because it helps our health and wellness and gets us to be able to enunciate, articulate, be here bluntly at 7:45 at night on a Thursday night and know that it's Thursday night and be able to enunciate, articulate, talk, communicate some type of messages, so we were able to really understand that it really wasn't like this for myself personally, for so many of our other friends and teammates, that we want to try to raise some awareness for that to kind of help some of our friends out with this journey.
It's strange that you mentioned that, and I don't know if you recall or not, but it was because of a health issue that I met you, and it was because of Eddie Johnson.
Right.
And Eddie, had the cancer and different of that nature, and so he was going through a lot of problems. And I was president of the NFL Alumni Association during that time, and we raised funds, and so we had what we call a United Need program. Whereas, we took care for kids, but somewhere along the line, we forgot about the players. And so we were raising money and stuff to actually help pay some of his medical bills and help him with his family and stuff. But you're right, there's so many different athletes out there, and sometimes people are not aware of it, don't understand and know that football players, even though they might say that they're glorious guys, they have issues and problems as well.
Right.
And while we're trying to help and take care of the kids and take care of everybody else, we need help at times too. So it's good that you're doing the things that you're doing with the stem cell program and the Bernie
The Kosar's Good Life.
Good Kosar Good Life. You know, that's something that I can get behind and I can support too because it's well worthwhile. It's something that's needed.
Well, thank you, and it's it's something that we're going through right now where we have a lot of pride. It wasn't easy. It's not easy for me to sit here and say some of the things health-wise, issue-wise that we've had. Cleo, it's awesome how you're kind of saying that we have our pride. We don't really want to ask for handouts. We don't want to be in a health situation where we actually need people to tell us where we're at or get us to other locations, or like with our eyesights having issues like it is with some of the TBI, traumatic brain injuries, that a lot of us are masking and trying to slow down the deterioration of it. We're all brothers in this together, and if we're able to sometimes bring awareness for it, and for any of you out there that as we start this journey, stay with us on this community, because some of us, I'm 59 years old. I wear this shirt a lot. Okay, and this is Michael Kosar, one of the great outside linebackers, 6'4", 240, Detroit Lions. And here he is. I'm 6'5". He's vertical. He's perpendicular to the ground like this. Sacked me out of that picture. I'm about 0.2 seconds away from broken ribs and stuff. But I look at Michael Kosar. I think of Chris Dolman. I think of Reggie White. Think of Jerome Brown. Think of all these awesome defensive linemen who've sacked and crushed me and actually broke bones on me. And every one of them's passed away and dead. Hasn't made 60 years old. And so many of our teammates, so many of our friends, the last 5 to 10 years of our lives is painfully tough to watch. We want to remember these times. Unfortunately, it's more of these times, and it gets a little worse from there. So there's a scary stat that I saw that guys who have played more than 7 years in the NFL, the life expectancy is 57 years old. Me and you are a little older than that right now. That's not very comforting. So it's a little self-serving to be so obsessive on Kosar's Good Life, food is your medicine, because I have a vested interest in trying to stay around for my kids and family and friends. But it's for a lot of people now, this is looking for light at the end of the tunnel, trying to find a healthy mechanism to keep yourself healthy.
So if I can interrupt for a minute. So I'm going to have Bernie sign a few autographs while I explain some stuff we have going on. So
Two orders already coming in?
Bernie's going to sign this one, and you're going to sign this one as well, Cleo.
Okay.
All right, so listen, if anybody's interested, we have product that you can have signed right here, right now, okay? And we will ship it to you for the cost that's on the screen. And the items are being sold through 5 Star and Prime Time. So just so you know, all the money that comes in for these items is going exactly what Bernie said. Hey, helping other teammates, helping other friends, helping players that need stuff. You know, we're creating a beautiful customer base that's going to, all those, that's going to bring you entertainment once a month online. We're going to bring players. We're going to bring, information to you that you're going to enjoy and you're going to be, be a part of. So if you could get on here and help us, to get stuff signed. We're also doing the stuff at a dealer cost. Like you're getting stuff signed at what like a dealer would be, you're not paying top dollar. So we also have footballs that are available for purchase to be signed. Okay, we have a limited amount of footballs in stock. So if you want Bernie to sign these footballs, he'll also, throw on there, you matter if you would like. So these are just some merchandise we have. Billy's putting up some pictures that we have on the screen if you want to purchase those. And everything that you buy is going to help out a Cleveland Browns player or an NFL player at some point. We're going to start touching a lot of lives. So please, even if you already have a Bernie Kosar autograph or a Cleo, I give away Cleo Millers all the time on our site. So, even if you have a Cleo, ain't nothing like getting a Cleo right now while he's live, getting it signed, give it away to someone as a nice gift. This is a way that we can really help, people that's played the game. And believe it or not, it's just not like, ages of, the 7 years or, 50. I have a son right now that's 24 years old that's played football, and he's struggling with life. Injuries that we take place at a young age, it comes back to haunt you later on in life.
Yeah, for the mothers, for the parents out there, for the kids and stuff, it's absolutely something for us that we're talking about in terms of health and our health. There's also something that I wish I would have learned at this Matthew's age here, this younger age of kids, to not have gone through some of the bad choices from a health and wellness standpoint. So some of the stuff you could learn early now, you really carry with it your whole life.
So here again, go on here while we're live. Bernie's going to be back talking here shortly about his, all the medicines and all the juices and all the spray reliefs and everything that helps with aches and pains. Try this product, guys. Get this stuff. Try it. It will help you out. I guarantee the spray relief will help. I guarantee that the things that he's bringing, he's not wasting his time here. He's not trying to do this for money, because Bernie doesn't care about it. It has nothing to do with money. Bernie is here trying to help, the normal person that don't know, and the people that can't afford to get things, a way that you can get it at a price that is basically next to nothing, and it'll help you.
It's fun. I started this my 5 years ago, my non-narcotic anti-pill crusade with this spray relief, the non-narcotic spray relief. And it's some of these things end up, like, if you end up doing all of them, I wish they could be inexpensive, that it does end up being at times pricey for some of this. So trying to raise awareness, telling people what the right things are that really can give you some benefits, and then trying to make it cost effective for some of the people that aren't able to afford this type of holistic health.
We also offer framing. So we purchased a framing company. So if anybody would like your stuff framed, we can frame it for you. We also are going to have a special, if you go through the Primetime site and you purchase something and you purchase it, put a Bernie code on there. It's a special code. It's called UMatter19. So you put that on there, Bernie. That's going to give everybody a free gift, okay, with their item, free mystery gift from us. But it's also going to give a way to help, for the fun of helping other players. So we're going to donate some of that money to a special cause, so we can help former players, come in, do things, earn a few dollars, and try to help out. So this is a lot of stuff that's going on.
Austin Russell's going to get this football signed by both of you guys. Austin Russell's getting that signed by both of you.
All right there, Austin.
All right, Austin. Way to go, way to go. Send some of your friends to us, too.
Yep, send some of your friends. That's right. Get on here and share us out, guys. We really, really, really need you guys sharing out. Hey, this would be a good time. Billy, you want to pop this up here?
Sure.
So listen, so while they're signing for a second, I just want to show you guys some of the framing that we have to offer. This is a Kosar. This is what we call our Cadillac version. Now, you can buy a jersey tonight, get it signed, and buy a Cadillac version, and you can get your You Matter piece. Hey, Denty, can you make that video? I'm not the video technology guy over here, but look, you can put a TV. We got a TV in there. We got highlights from, I'm assuming, from when Kosar won the national championship game. I'm assuming, but you got a video that you have, and you got pictures down there, and you can buy a jersey tonight, pay to get it framed after the fact. We can talk to you. You can have it framed just like this, as neon lights. It's our new classic version. Unbelievable. So we have these that you can purchase the framing from through Primetime Framing, and put that special code in there, You Matter 19, and part of the proceeds will go to helping with what we're doing right here. I mean, I think we can join and build something special, especially monthly, bringing a guest on the show and talking about things that's going to really help people get healthy.
Well, we're gonna make this regular. We'll be bringing guests on, but this is egotistically of me here, and I love my grounds connection and stuff. But did you block off that Canes picture? I can't see that there.
Yeah.
40 years. This is how old we are as I get into the late third quarter, early fourth quarter of my life. That this is the 40-year anniversary of the 1983 national championship, University of Miami against the Nebraska Cornhuskers.
Unbelievable. Trivia question. Do you know, or does anybody out there know who caught Bernie's last touchdown in the NFL? So if anybody knows that, put it in right now without looking it up.
Yeah.
Don't cheat. Put it in the screen. We want to know. We have a special gift we're going to give away to whoever knows who caught Bernie's last touchdown.
And actually,
in the NFL.
If I actually say my last pass in the NFL was a touchdown
to a former
Cleveland person who I love to death that we're going to have on next.
Oh yeah. And Cleo, you don't qualify, but I don't think you would know the answer anyways. But I know you would love that free gift, right? Hey, get some more autographs going, guys. We'll get Bernie back talking about his juices here and stuff, but let's get on here, get it brought out, get shared out. Let's get some more autographs going. We need more autographs to sign. So, and for what we're giving it to you for, it's unbelievable price. And it's going for a great causes, guys. Great causes, and so at this time, feel free to get on here and buy autographs all night long, or interact with us, ask questions. We will ask Bernie some of your questions that you come out, or Cleo. But go ahead. Let's go back to. Why don't you talk about your?
Well, I was going to ask Matt if any of our listeners figured out that answer yet, huh? Because I'm just chomping at the bit to say it. I love them so much.
Yeah, I don't see any on here.
Well, I was never great at keeping a secret, anyways, Matt. So sorry, Cleo.
But don't say it yet.
We have a gift that we're going to give. Okay. Get it signed, and then you're going to sign it right now for him. Hey, we're going to give gifts out all night long, guys. So you get on here, and don't be afraid to interact, because we're going to be giving away stuff all night long. Whenever a tornado, my nickname is Tornado Tom. So whenever I feel like doing something, but I need a right answer. So.
I said he threw it to you and you dropped it.
Oh yeah. Remember, he's talking about the pass. Remember the pass you threw me? I dropped it. He ain't never gonna leave me down on that.
Billy's got him, huh?
Yep. So.
Hey, so how about while we're waiting too? Could I get one of my Cleo Miller pics? That Jack Lambert picture. That I can sign in?
Listen, let's talk about this picture.
This is a great picture.
Now, if anybody's going to have, this is the best picture that you could ever have Cleo sign. And let me tell you, he'll add a special inscription on here to this picture. This is great for your man cave. And I have to talk before Bernie gets this picture. But listen, that's Jack Lambert, okay, who's in the Hall of Fame, one of the greatest known linebackers ever to play the game. And Cleo Miller stood up to him. So he will write on this photo for you, Jack who. So you Browns fan needs this for your man cave. A Cleo Miller against Jack Lambert, and this is a great piece. I'll let Cleo tell you about this play.
If you notice, when Jack Lambert was actually inducted into the Hall of Fame, there was a former Cleveland Browns player that he was shoving that person's head down in the dirt. And they showed that when he was being inducted in the Hall of Fame. That happened to be me. But the problem is, this is the result of what actually happened. They didn't show you that part.
Yeah. So after he shoved him into the ground, Cleo says he stood up like a man.
So, the thing that actually happened after he did that, then hey, being a fullback, you can be like a guided missile. You can leave a play, accidentally, and you can go and seek people.
Oh yeah.
So I used to, I know that.
I love you, man. That's awesome.
I accidentally left a lot of plays, and I would find Jack, and I would actually return the favor. I won't say the words, but one thing for sure, each time that Jack Lambert tackle me from that point on. He never shoved my head down in dirt. He reached his hand down and helped me up.
Wow. That's awesome.
That's
sport.
that's the good thing about, I was trying to say earlier. When you play and people know who you are and what you can do, you get respect from your peers. And I had a lot of guys that I played against. They came up to me and we became friends and stuff after the game and stuff was over with. And they used to tell me, one of them in particular told me, hey, we had a special note in our playbook that said, do not hurt number 43 because number 30 is sitting on the bench. He's better. So,
Wow.
and it's
Wow.
I didn't do it purposely, but somehow or another it happened. And a lot of guys have told me, but they've gotten broken ribs, broken legs, and different nature from me blocking. But one guy in particular, Mike Wagner with the Pittsburgh Steelers, I was running in football, and he tried to tackle me down low, and you don't tackle me down low. That was one of the strongest parts about me, and I broke his collarbone.
Oh boy.
And so, I met him some years later because my nephew used to play for Steelers. And I met him some years later, and I took my son to the game, and I wanted to introduce him. My son and I, the only one up in the stands, and you saw it was alumni day, and a lot of guys down there on the field. And so what actually happened is that I saw Mike Wagner, I saw Ray Penny, Banner Jackson guys. And so I told one of the guys on the sideline, go get Mike Wagner and tell him I said I want to speak with him. And so what actually happened is the guy whom hung around and found he went down and he told Mike. And the next day he thought he was gonna get in trouble. So no, he won't get in trouble. The next day, about 7 to 8 guys from the Steelers coming up where I was. We had a good thing, and I started to tell my son, about Mike Wagner. And the first thing he came out of his mouth, your dad broke my neck.
I bet he could use some spray relief.
Yeah, you need that, man.
Hey, real quick, before we tell about that, so here you guys go. $10, you can claim these pictures for $10. Okay, for $10, you can get this signed right now, and that's $10 shipped. C6. You want this picture? Cleo will sign this picture for you, Jack Who, and you'll get this in your man cave. You can pay to get it framed, but for $10 tonight only, Cleo will sign this picture for you. So get on here and let's get Cleo to sign these.
Wait. So Tom, give me that then. here's 20. I get 2 of them.
Yeah, you get 2 of them.
Hey, but I gotta say this, and in the levity of it, I really do want this, and I want that
for your man cave
for it. But for young players and for coaches out there, and not being a suck up to you, Cleo, because we've been talking. I've known as a guy who likes to throw a quarterback passing. I obsessed on running the ball and love my fullbacks, not just because you're here and stuff. Now, I probably would have lost my mind if you would have took a play off to go kill Jack Lambert, okay, and been out of position.
We need Brian Sipe on this show, is what you're saying, right?
Missing blitz pickup, okay.
These were running plays. So there wasn't no missing. It wasn't no missing.
He just forgot a block for a running back.
So what actually happens is that when I make my block, and he just so happens to be in a certain location, I can continue.
Oh yeah.
Well, for the younger players out there or coaches, blocking and the running backs has become a massively dying art, and it is so important your positioning and your technique here. And if on the camera here, if you could see with Cleo, look at how perpendicular he is. Look at how his backside is underneath him. His legs are bent. I mean, coming from low to high. I mean, this is Jack Lambert, hometown Manaway, Ohio, where I happen to be living at now. This is an unbelievable tough guy in the middle of the field there. For Cleo to be getting that type of leverage with his size, okay? What'd you play at?
Actually, I only played about 215 pounds at the fullback position right there during that time.
Okay, so still.
So I was small considering.
Still 215, okay, and to be underneath the middle linebacker like that for young players.
If you didn't notice, Jack's going backwards.
Oh, okay? Jack is backwards here, okay? That is shoulders back, ass in front.
Oh, yeah.
You don't want that position, trust me. Because the next thing that it hits is the back of your head.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, 100%. All right, while he signs
Sign
that for you,
baby
guess
for
what?
me, man.
Goes our
Personalize that.
answer the question. We have a winner.
O.J. McDuffie. O.J.
McDuffie.
McDuffie. 1987 high school offensive player of the year of Cleveland, Ohio. And then I was the NFL player of the year. And OJ went on. He went to Penn State. Amazing guy, player. Went to the Miami Dolphins. Amazing teammate of mine. Outstanding career. We're getting him up here in a couple of weeks. Besides the awesome Joe Thomas is going into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. One of my awesome friends, and I was an old man on the team when Zach Thomas, and me and OJ were playing with Zach for a couple of years in the league. So he'll be going into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in a couple of weeks. So we're gonna get OJ up here. OJ.
All right, so we gotta get that signed, Matt. Would you have something to say?
So real fast, I'm told that your buddy Greg is watching. Your
Oh,
buddy Greg is watching
Okay.
here, and he said he loves the stories.
Hey,
Greg, you'll be next to be on the show, possibly.
Hey, Greg. Yeah. Hey, and by the way, Greg, we've been talking with Cleo off air about all of our injuries and stuff. So we got you hooked up at QC Kinetics too for the stem cells with Cleo.
Don't worry. We'll have you and Cleo back together so you can retell your story about who ran over and who lost down their 1,000-yard backfield.
Right here, Jim Paul and Joseph Paulus, they both claim one of those.
Okay, here we go.
Sign those up.
So sign these up real. I would probably sign up in here.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That way it's a nice signature.
Have that right here, bro.
So here you go. Winner.
Okay.
There we go. This is signed by Bernie Kosar. Signed to you. This is what you got for your trivia winner giveaway.
Go Browns. Dan McWilliams wants that signed from you.
Going to Canada.
Yep,
Going to Canada.
Say greetings from Canada. Got a lot of people saying hello to you guys.
Oh, we
Any
got a.
questions out there, Matt?
Kyler says the 1986 was the best Browns team ever, and the best fan was born that year also, and that was them. So so they're saying that's the best year ever. So I don't know if somebody else wants to
That will tell you what
argue that.
You already lost one argument today.
Wow.
Cleo did with me.
I was.
You remember?
Yeah.
Well, the 1986, I was on the call. Another teammate of ours that's going to be on the show, Ralph Malone, was a rookie in 1986. He would probably agree with that. And as we talk of health and wellness, he's one of the great guys with Amio Life that has saved me with my regimen in the morning with my health and wellness, probiotics, multivitamins, structured silver. Thanks, Ralph. You matter, brother.
And you know, so Greg said that would be a marathon show.
So let me ask
You
you.
ever see me run?
You know, I got to be honest. You were really slow. I remember watching you run, and I knew I could keep up with you when I was a young boy. I'm like, man, no, you had a couple runs that definitely, when you'd scramble, them knees be flopping out.
Yeah.
There was no organization to it, was it?
I had for the football guys out there was a 2 deep, 5 under man coverage. Okay, so in that the safeties are split. So it was a pass play, and it was like Moses and a parting of the seas. Everybody went to the sidelines. I was on a 40-yard line. Cleo Miller would have scored a 40-yard touchdown run, okay, in about 4.5 seconds. But when Bernie Kosar tries to run 40 yards with a parting of the seas, it's a little slower. So Cleo would have got 40. My career long was 20 yards. I made it to the 20, and I remember Junior Sale laughing, falling on top of me, saying, "Man, you were slow." I had to call a timeout too. I was winded after that.
And another item that we're going to have special. No, it was the first time ever seen. This is a special. It's kind of like a litho. What Kosar? This is a special. Is there anything spectacular, special before I?
This is before I had daughters and my hair started falling out.
Okay, so listen, we're gonna have this here available. This is like 11 by. What did you say? 11 by 20? I'm guessing. 11 by. I'm guessing maybe.
11 by 17.
11 by. It's bigger than 11 by 17. But anyways,
is that the border?
this is a pretty cool piece. It's kind of like an art drawing. We have some of these in stock. If you want any of these,
Actually, I was going to have you frame a few of those for me for my new office. So
well, we definitely are going to frame a few. But if anybody would like some of these, I just got them. They're vintagey, looking. If anyone would like any of these, you can claim them up for just claim the letter A for $60. I'm gonna do this was a $60 special. If anybody would like these,
Hey Tom, I'm checking real quick my thesaurus and Webster's dictionary. What was that word you used? Vintagey?
vintagey.
Vintagey?
Yes, because vintage means very old. So I'm gonna give it that vintagey area.
Okay.
I create things. If you ain't nothing about me, you never know what's coming out of my mouth.
I love it.
So
I want you to sign that you matter on those.
Okay.
all right, let's get some more of those Cleo Miller taking on Mr. Jack Lambert. Those are great Christmas gifts, guys.
Hey, show those tearaway jersey ones.
The ones with the
The
tearaway.
young kids even know about those anymore.
You get the tearaway picture?
They don't even know about that.
I bring it up.
I went the other way. I had mine were super thick.
We had the
I wasn't
dual
strong
tearaway or
enough
no?
to tear away from anything.
All right, here we go. Cleo, this is Cleo getting his jersey toured. Cleo, do you want to tell about this jersey? It's a special jersey.
He said go ahead and have
Okay.
sign those too.
Tell about that jersey.
Actually, I thought it was something cool during the time, but I later learned to hate that tearaway jersey. Greg and I were the only ones on the team that wore tearaway jerseys.
Why'd you end up hating it?
I hated it because guys get on the defense got smart. They knew that I was the leading blocking back for Greg.
Also,
And so I could block better than anybody else. And so when they tear that jersey off, I got to lead the game.
Ah.
I have to lead the game. When I lead the game, then hey, it's a benefit for them. And Greg, when they tear his jersey, because he's running the ball, it's a benefit for them. So we learned to hate those jerseys. So man, we're glad that they outlawed them. But that's the product of a tearaway jersey right there that we wore. We were the only two guys in the history, running backs in history, Cleveland Brown to wear the tearaway jerseys.
If there's a special inscription anybody wants, tonight only, we will add your inscription on there, whether you want it personalized or like he put on there, you matter, Kosar. So if anybody would like, that's for the one person just ordered it. Was it Josephine?
Josephine.
That's Josephine's there. So if anybody wants those or anything else, there's a special inscription. I'm still telling you, order the Cleo Miller, knocking Jack out. Buy that for a Steeler fan. If you're a Browns fan, buy that for a Steeler fan. They will get a kick out of it at Christmas time. A holiday, you give them a nice gift of their one of their favorite guys about to get their their tail knocked out.
I can't use it. I can't use the language that I want to use.
Well,
I have a different.
technically we own the rights, but I understand. So, Bernie, why don't you get into a little bit of the, talking about the things that away from football for a second.
Okay.
While we take a little break here.
Well, as we're doing that, I'm peeking over at Cleo's picture here of hitting Jack and stuff, and I'm thinking of why we need health and wellness.
Yep.
And I'm looking at the graphs here. So when the Browns played the Steelers, and as I'm behind the camera, Billy has a sacrilegious Steelers hat on, so I have to give him a little shout out.
Oh yeah,
for that.
Brand new Steeler fan.
But the old days, Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh, or Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati, basically was all concrete and stuff. So it was like playing on the parking lot stuff. The injuries that you would get playing there. So, man, the stuff of like Mike Webster and some of the injuries that those guys had was, you could see why from playing on that field and stuff. So like the need to come up with health and wellness when we were playing at that age, we didn't really realize the magnitude of some of the stuff that was going to be happening then. So I was hoping other people were going to come up with a lifestyle medicine protocols that slowed down the deterioration of some of those surfaces and some of those hits and some of the violence that was in the game back then. And I don't know what you think about it, Cleo. We talked a little this week, but this past weekend about it is there's some people that say, God, the game's changed so much. It's soft today. And I wish it was like the old days. One, I don't think it's soft today. These guys are massively physical, hit and that. And I'm not one of the guys that wants to see guys get hit like you and me did bluntly, or have to practice on Wednesday and Thursday. I mean, I can't imagine you, Cleo, with your coaches. I mean, it was tough playing against Jack Lambert and Mean Joe Green, who's an awesome coach of mine, by the way. But man, Wednesday and Thursday practice, inside drills, like the banging that you had to do just in practice.
Well, the good thing about it is that we didn't do a lot of hitting in practice among the players.
Right.
You know, they may have had some of the guys that were not playing may have gone in to warm up, but the starters, people who actually play on a regular basis, didn't get it until a lot of contact work. And so, back in the day when we were playing also, they had no rules. Anything went. You could tackle, you could block, you could do anything. You could spit in the guy's eye, throw dirt in the face, anything, and tackle or
I've had bite marks in certain parts of my anatomy that we can't mention on air.
So that part of it, I'm glad that they cleaned it up. And I'm glad, because they had the what do you call it, the blindsided blocks and stuff, And so I remember LC was a God rest his soul, he's gone. He and I graduated from the same college, and
Arkansas Pine Bluff.
Arkansas Pine Bluff, former Arkansas A&M College. But what actually happened is that he would always be wrestling with Doug Deacon, and then he'd see me over there and say, "Hey, Holmes, when you run that ball, you better get down. I'm gonna break your back." And when I would come around Doug, half the time, and he tried to do that, I said, I got to get him some kind of way. And so I told him, I said, LC, when you wrestling with Doug, and you come here trying to tackle the quarterback, you better peep. And so he didn't peep, and I cut his legs and stuff up under his stuff. See, that today you can't.
You can't cut. I know,
you
but
can't, when a guy's engaged with a defensive end or something, or a tackle, you cannot cut that defensive end. All that stuff.
Yeah, I apologize to some of you defensive ends, but you guys were cheap on us, and it was and this isn't right. This isn't right, and that's why I don't really push kids nor my kids to have played this sport. But it was kill or be killed out there, and that mindset of if you chose to get into the rectangle, then you chose the kill or be killed attitude. And the stuff like, I used to love defensive ends. They'd be talking smack, wah, bah, mouth. I'd do the same thing. Like, dude, K-Mac, wait till Cody Rising has it extended and then blap. I don't want to say, take out his legs.
Claude Humphrey, who used to play for the Atlanta Falcons, we became good friends. He used to try to kill me too, and we became good friends. Athletes, the game is fought on the field, but out the field we become friends. You go and associate, you do things, camps and all that kind of stuff. So we were in Stillwater. we're in Franklin, Louisiana, at a camp we did for kids with Water Fresh. But we played a preseason game in Stillwater, Oklahoma, and so. Claude Humphrey, he saw an opening between the offensive guard and tackle, and he had a dead beam on Brian's side getting ready to tackle Brian. He didn't see me over behind the tackle. And so by the time he got into that hole, I stepped right in front of him and said, boo. I just said boo. And this is the preseason guy. I just said boo. He said, oh, thank you, man. Thank you, man. He turned around and walked back on the other side. Because he knew I had him dead right after I could have cleaned his closet. So it's stories like that, things like that. You become friends and stuff. You're trying to do the game. You're trying to do it the right way. But sometimes that emotion and stuff gets in the way, and you can't help yourself. And you may do something that you may regret later on in life.
Okay, so Ryan wants Cleo to sign this to Ryan, and then say something, whatever you want about the Steelers on there. Now listen, I just want to show you guys a minute here. See how this says Jack Who? So Cleo signed this Jack Who. Cleo Miller, and Cardiac Kids. So he gave you all those inscriptions. So anybody that wants these for $10 tonight only, you're going to get Jack Who against the Steelers and Cleo sign it. Okay, so get on here and claim these out, guys. Get these for your Christmas gifts. Get them for your Steelers fans. Get them as a gag joke. It doesn't matter. Buy this picture up. It's only $10. I'm shipping it for free. I'm paying the shipping. Let's help Cleo out here. Get these signed, and you have some fun with this picture. Okay, and or you can say whatever you want about them rotten Steelers. You know.
No, I got a joke about that. I mean, I got a Cleo-ism about Steelers and.
Oh, let me hear a Cleo-ism. Yeah.
You remember I told you about that though, didn't you? You know, you got three.
Oh
teams.
yeah. This is good. Yeah,
Yeah, you got 3 teams.
I want to take this one as my own. This is so good. This is so good. Yeah.
You got 3 teams that the Cleveland Browns players and hopefully the fans will learn after this time, that don't have a problem with. And one of them and the reason you don't have a problem with it because they're stepchildren to the Cleveland Browns. One of them being the Cincinnati Bengals, because we all know that the Bengals, they existed because of Paul Brown. They used to wear the same colors, same uniforms, everything, from that standpoint with the Cleveland Browns. The other one would be the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh Steelers couldn't play football till the Cleveland Browns went down there and taught them how to play. Who am I talking about? Talking about Chuck Noll, a Cleveland Brown, Bill Cowher, a Cleveland Brown, when they won a lot of those championship stuff. And of course, the last one is the Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore Ravens, broke a lot of Browns fans' hearts and stuff when they moved and took them to Baltimore. But they're still an extension of the Cleveland Browns. They were the Cleveland Browns.
Well, look who was running the organization over there.
Yeah. So the moral of the story.
Yeah.
So the moral of this story is, what good parent don't want the kids to do good sometimes?
I love that, man. I love that.
So, Bernie, why don't you take this opportunity to talk about now, get into some of the different juices or different things.
Right before you do that, I got a lot of questions coming in. Guys, all you have to do is just comment in the comments. If you want a photo, we've had them up tonight. You can go back. We have letters on them. Just comment what photo you want, and we can get that taken care of. And we can get that off to you, okay? That way, whatever they're signing, you just put it in comments, or you can message us, personally message us. We get you all that information, okay? So those of you that tuning in from different platforms, all you have to do is message us at the Primetime or 5-star page, okay? Thank you.
So while we got going on, just so if you just joined in, we have a virtual signing going on. You can purchase footballs, jerseys. You can purchase photos. You can get lithographs purchased. You can purchase framing, and you get to hear great Cleveland stories, and also stories of the college days. You get stories of anything. So if you have a question, we're going to do a Q&A here. So get them questions in here to Matt, and then we'll start asking questions here in a minute. As soon as we get, I think we need to talk about what products Bernie's out here using to help him in his day-to-day life.
Right. Thanks, Tom. I've been, as a guy who's had, as I said, the 40 surgeries, the 80 broken bones, all the medications, and bluntly, I came out of that last coma 5.5 years ago, and the doctor's saying, to keep up with your prescriptions, keep up with your protocols. I mean, it was literally, Cleo, I'm not proud to say this, but taking north of 50-some pills a day, since I retired in 1997, 3+ decades this century, like we've talked about. So people have been saying, and I was diagnosed 4.5 years ago with 5 years left of cognitive brain function. And Cleo, you remember when we were together 5-10 years ago, there'd be times where, one, I couldn't be here at 8 o'clock at night, wouldn't know what cognitive meant, could not enunciate, articulate, communicate really any multiple syllable words. So to be here 5 years later, to have at least slowed down the deterioration of some of the stuff within my brain and within my body, and to almost be regenerating it right now. So a lot of people have been asking me, like, what do you do? What's your program and stuff? And I wish it was just one simple thing, or one like again, like the LifeWave, one, just the patch, just one thing, but it's really is a lifestyle. It's a comprehensive lifestyle that I live 24/7, 365, that really isn't as complex and as and difficult as I originally thought it was going to be, as people thought it was going to be. And so I'm going to be putting together kind of a starter kit of things that basically how I live and start my day. So food is your medicine. I love it. I love my heritage. I love Northeastern Ohio. I love our food and the history here. But as an inbred Slovak who grew up on kibasi and pierogi for breakfast, that's not the breakfast of champions. Okay. And food is your medicine. And this Vitamix, as simple as it is something where now I'm a big juicer. So when I was 85, 90% carnivorous, now I'm probably 80 or 90% water, fruits, and vegetables, and really good water with vegetables. I mean, tonight is almost splurging, but strawberry, beet, ginger, heavy water and stuff, but juicing like that. And then, when I start off like a meal, like vitamins, multivitamins, probiotics, heavy, good water, lemon in the morning and stuff. But some of those basic things like your soaps, your mouthwashes, your deodorants, your skin is your biggest living organ. I've really done a reset of my pantry and the reset of my bathroom on basic utensils. Everything that comes into my mouth, it comes onto my body. So working on food is your medicine. Working on smart supplementation with the reduction of the pills has been massively life-changing for me. So these are things like with the smart supplementation, with food is your medicine, with some of the peptides and stem cell stuff that I'm trying to do with LifeWave, this patch here. The Kosar's Good Life. I have not done a pill in over 5 years. Really big into the CBD hemp THC oil. When I was actually playing football for anxiety, I would actually smoke cannabis and stuff. I never took pills when I played. Unfortunately, when I stopped playing, the pills and that became a part of society that unfortunately too many kids today are being scripted with that. So finding a mechanism, finding protocols, finding ways to do things holistically without Schedule I narcotics and without trying to take pharma type pills has been like a life mission for me. And it's been something that I've been using out not only for myself, but for a lot of my ex-teammates and friends, which was originally kind of my mission for myself and for some of my ex-teammates and stuff. What we really found out was that really so many people in society have so many health, wellness, depression, anxiety, addiction issues right now that it really just isn't us older football players. This is a common theme really throughout society right now. So some of the stuff I'm kind of calmly or trying to cavalierly say, what's happened. It's not really easy to say, but there before COVID, I really think we had a massive issue in society with mental illness, anxiety, some of the over medications of stuff. The COVID virus, fortunately, has probably amplified that type issue. We're here in the state of Ohio. We're sitting here in Northeastern Ohio here tonight. Unfortunately, already this week in the state of Ohio, we've had over 100 people die of overdose deaths just this week in the state of Ohio. This is becoming epidemic, not just here, but everywhere. And there's holistic, healthy ways to really help people kind of get out of that lifestyle. And not only get out of that lifestyle, but give them a holistic, healthy way to give them hope for it. So as you're kind of joining me on this journey with some of the stuff we're doing for us older ex-players, it's really meant for all of us to kind of start learning a healthy way to take care of it. I wish I started this. I'm 59 years old. Started this at 54 years old. Shows that done the right way, your body really can heal itself. You put your body in the right position. It gives yourself a chance to heal it. I wish I didn't start at age 54. So kind of one of my missions now with the Kosar's Good Life is to bring this to younger parents and to younger kids. Don't wait to be an old man like me to try to get healthy. This is a fun journey that you could take on your own and learn some of these healthy things from the outset. Don't go through some of the health issues and anxiety issues and bluntly depression issues that myself went through. And there's options to healthily get you out the other side. As the autographs.
Yep, let's start signing some stuff, and then we'll start getting some Q&A questions. So this would be your time while they're signing. If you guys want to ask a question, get it in, get it out. Let's go right now. Also, again, Cleo needs some more stuff to sign, so get on here and order them pictures up. They're going pretty quick. I got to get some more Cleos.
We're almost out of the Jack Lamberts.
We're almost out of the Jack Lambert. Just a few more to go.
You know,
So,
Bernie, you talked about the sporting surgeries you had. Myself, about 5 years ago, 6 years ago, I had 27 surgeries in less than 2 years on my right eye. That left me blind. Yeah. And so, when you're talking about the stem cells, because I have my cornea, retina, and all that stuff torn. So if the stem cells can actually help me, and with the vision and so forth,
yeah,
that's something that we can be looking at research and stuff. And again, I know it can help with the blood pressure, that nature. So, there's a lot of things with this medication. I'm hoping that'll be.
Yeah, I was on, and again, like as friends now.
Oh, yeah.
If I was selling you, I would just tell you I'm selling you. I wouldn't be putting you on stuff just to do this.
Mhm.
I was on 5 high blood pressure pills this whole century. Okay, since I started this Kosar's Good Life, to not take a high blood, even all these pills I'm not taking, I haven't taken a high blood pressure. And when I took the high blood pressures, I was 140 over 90, 135 over 100, and that was on the medication.
Right.
And now without them, doing this Kosar's Good Life, I'm 120 over 80.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
and actually, these stem cells and the peptides with this, I had some of the eyesight issues too.
and sign this Go Browns. Any questions out here? Do we have a question yet?
One person wants to know, Bernie, how you went from going from 20 in college to 19 and then also to 18.
Oh, that's a great question. Thank you. So in college, and I was so far down the totem pole and so skinny that they gave me number 1 and number 2 at first. And I was 5th or 6th string. And so I was 20 in high school. So they gave me 20 and I asked for 20 in college. But then the great Ernie Accorsi was the general manager for the Cleveland Browns back then. And he's the guy who kind of helped that supplemental draft. Well, he was this will really show my age here. You'll understand it, Cleo. He was at the Baltimore Colts when they got Johnny Unitas. And I ended up at number 19 because Ernie Accorsi said I reminded him of the great Johnny Unitas. So Johnny Unitas was 19. He gave me 19 because I wore the high tops like him too. So that was super honor for me to be numbered after Johnny Unitas. And then to show you how cool the Cowboys were, I get cut in 93. Browns were in first place. A lot of drama and attention goes on with that. 2 days later, I'm in Dallas, and I'm at Troy Aikman's hurt, and I get a chance to start for the Cowboys. And they give me number 9. They said you could have 19, but somebody had 19. The punter, John Jett, had 19.
16 by 20.
And he said to me, he came up, and I'm not overly big into numbers, truthfully. I was so obsessed with playing. And I had just gotten cut, so I had bigger issues than what my number was, if I'm even still in the league and that. So to come down, and John Jett goes, man, I'll give you number 19, because the respect back in the old days of younger guys to older guys, and the Cowboys and Jimmy Johnson and John Jett said I could have 19 if I wanted. But I thought it was so cool of him to offer it up that I just said, I'd go with all that. And I took 18.
The sign pull. Hey, just so take this. Let me tell you now that you Steeler fans out there, let me show you how hard it was to tackle Cleo Miller. This image right here has got two Steelers, one going low, one going cheap shot high with the helmet to the hand. Like today, this would be a foul. This would be a personal foul today, in the game that we play. Back when these guys were playing, it was all go, wasn't it, Cleo?
That's right.
But this here, we have this image available. If you want this image of Cleo, it was considered C4. Here again, Cleo will sign this for you. He's going to start signing them right now. So if anybody wants this image of Cleo, this is another great man cave item. So, take your chance. Get this one right here while Cleo starts signing those. On those there, put Go Browns.
Okay.
Yep. Thank you. And look how beautiful. We got Kosar stuff coming out. So if you want a Kosar autograph, put in your comments. We'll get your photo signed. So we got some signings. Any other questions, Matt? Let's get some more questions in here, guys.
Bernie, was there ever any other university that you almost picked instead of going to Miami?
So as a mommy's boy, I wanted to stay in Northeast Ohio, but I was always tall, slow, and skinny, and there wasn't a lot of throwing in the Midwest back in the 80s. So I was close to the first time I got in a plane, I went to Charlie Pell and Mike Shanahan at the University of Florida in Gainesville. They're recruited by the 3 Florida schools. But one of the schools I was close to going to, Mike Gottfried was at Cincinnati Bearcats, and Don Nealon was at West Virginia. And the quarterback was Oliver Luck, and he was a Rhodes Scholar. Really showing my age now, but that was his son ended up being Andrew Luck.
Gotcha. All right. Here again, guys, this is Cleo. Cleo here getting, I would say, definitely tackled properly and tackled illegally against 2 Steelers. Great man cave item. It shows the Steeler fans, look, it took 2 of you to knock the guy down. And B, if you're a Steeler fan, get this for your man cave. Say, look, you didn't go nowhere. So there's 2 ways of looking at it, Cleo.
Oh, yeah.
You got ran over, and you got cheap shotted, or you were that hard of a running back to pull down. Took two men to bring you down.
You got a picture over there too that I'm looking at. That was the start of things that was me and Lambert right there.
So what he's trying to say is, you notice how he has a ball in his hand, and it looks like he might be standing in the end zone. I don't know where it is, but whatever it is, I can tell you there's Cleo, and he's chirping right at Jack Lambert. If you look right there, you can tell him he's this. Not in my house, bro.
This guy wants 3 of these with the same inscription.
Okay. 3 of these with the same inscription. Look at this. Look at this inscription. Are they in the order that you had?
This question is for both of you while you're signing. What is your greatest Browns moment, each of you?
Okay. I'm going to let Cleo go first.
He can't think that fast.
So, that's why I said that.
No. One of the greatest moments for me?
Yeah.
There were a couple of great moments for me.
And nothing to do with Greg, right?
Huh?
Greg's not involved, though, right?
I'm gonna bring him. I'm gonna bring him in. But
Because he's probably still listening.
Yeah, the greatest moment I had because I wasn't drafted coming out of college, and when I came into the league in 1974, it was striking, as a matter of fact. And what actually happened is I must have seen at least about 300 or 400 guys come and go in and out that locker room. And I had a list of all the guys' names and stuff on the list. Anytime the coach told the player to come in and bring his playbook with him, you never saw that guy in a minute. And I scratched it again, so I scratched his name off. So this went on all the way up until about 3 minutes before the final cut. And the coach came in and told me that the head coach wanted to see me in the office. So I just got up, not paying attention to what was going on. I got up and went into the office. But the problem was that they didn't tell me to bring my playbook. So I went into the office and then I met Hank Stram. Hank Stram was the coach, and he was congratulating me and telling me that I had made the squad. So that was the greatest moment, not being drafted, being in a camp, going over through at least 200 guys because it was striking during that time, and you're making that squad. The second one is that I have an article at my house where it said OJ outjuiced. OJ outjuiced. So actually, we played against the Buffalo Bills, and I gained more yards in that game than OJ Simpson did. And a caveat to that is Greg said, I told you I could block. So that was a game that Greg had to block for me.
Greg had to help you. Wow.
And usually I'm the one blocked for Greg, but Greg blocked for me.
Nice. You know, Greg's a great guy. He's a guy I love to pick up because he loves to tell the good stories. Whether it's, you know, but I think most of his stories usually go to one-sided. They go more to his side than yours, right, Cleo?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy. That's just, that's a trip.
Well, I was going to say kind of this, I feel blessed to not be able to name just one.
All right.
You know? To be able to,
hey, you got to be honest. I want to know what was your favorite touchdown pass, because I tell you that old when you would get that sidearm, you know, cocking, and you'd be going down the field. Next, you know, out of nowhere, Webster Slaughter just would be like. So what's your best? Is it the play you changed?
So, I'm actually looking like at this play. I'm signing right here now, and the field looks way too nice, but I see the Jets, and I see the Jets backed up on like the 3 or 4 yard line, and it can't help but think of like one of the lower points in my life of 1986. I had thrown 2 picks to look like blow that Jets playoff game, and I got sacked right here on like this 3 yard line, 4 yard line by Gastineau, and got that late hit. I just remember laying there. You know, I told you this too. And for young kids out there, mothers, wear mouthpieces. Hockey players don't have their front teeth. Quarterbacks from the 80s don't have their back teeth. Gastineau hit me. I was that roughing the quarterback. That was the first time I got my teeth knocked out. And it was the happiest roughing the passer I ever got. You know, I needed
bailed you out there,
I
right?
needed that first down.
What?
Yeah.
You're talking about the playoff, the double overtime?
The double
Oh,
overtime.
my goodness. I remember crying when I was a kid on that one. White's fine.
You know, we were talking all about the Steelers and stuff. You know, that other question. Again, I'm not saying this to be cocky. I mean, I thank you, God, so much to be so blessed to be a tall, skinny, poor kid from Youngstown, to get the quarterback for his team and stuff. And then to be able to say, there were so many plays that I don't know which ones were cool or which touchdown, you know, was kind of the best. But, you know, on the Steelers thing we're talking about, that's we had a overtime game in '86 too. And I had to do an audible, and I did that audible to Webster down the sideline. And I had done that audible earlier in the game, and I got like a 40-yard touchdown pass to Ozzie on it. So that audible was the second time I went to the well in that game, and I was going to actually try to trick him again to get I had an illegal pick play for Ozzie. Okay, they were in bear defense, and in this bear defense, I could take the right tackle, kick out, and actually block the guy in press coverage on Ozzie, and then he could sneak underneath, and I went for like a big touchdown earlier in the game. They were in that same defense again in overtime, and I was like, I got so excited like a kid on Christmas morning. My eyes must have got like silver dollars. So you Steeler fans, Billy, aren't all as intelligently challenged. Brian Hinkle and Hardy Nickerson knew what I was doing, so they called out Ozzie. They saw the play was happening. So I had to real quick come up with a couple signals, and Webster and me were on the same kind of thing.
So
flip an audible to an audible.
So any other question? Well, I'm asking the next question. Let me ask you about this. You know, this play that they almost say that the Belichick play that you did when you were supposed to call something different, you changed the play in the dirt and drew it up and threw a touchdown. They say that was the ticket out of Cleveland, you know, from Belichick. Talk about that play.
You know,
you're a genius. People don't understand how much of a genius you are.
Well, thanks. You know, that Jets play, on the last picture I was showing you that we were talking about, that game also was the first time I used the clock fake spike play.
All
That
right.
was 1986. The time it really worked successfully was 8.5 years later in 1994. But between 86, doing it with the quick out component of it, and then practicing that every day of my life, almost 3,000 days, if you add up that between it for the situation to come up. And then for Coach Shula to have the confidence in me, because that was the first year that they had microphones in the helmet. And Coach was letting me call the plays and acting like the coaches were calling them. So I was able to implement in the spike play, and then during the game, be able to see the adjustments, make those calls, and then call it in to Dan Marino like that.
Questions, Matt? Q&A. Get your buy autographs. Get your questions. Let's go.
Hey, but that question you had about what so we were talking about, and I can't wait to get OJ McDuffie on here. My last pro pass going for a touchdown against the Philadelphia Eagles. But my last pro pass for the Cleveland Browns is Tom, the one you're talking about. And I was groomed by the great Howard Snellenberger. And Coach Snellenberger told me that the quarterback's job is a result-oriented job. And it's the results that matter, not how you look doing it. So it was almost like he mandated to me that you had to call plays. You had to change plays. So that was always kind of my mindset. So that Jets, that last play, we were actually playing the Broncos. And Dennis Smith, their safety, was playing real aggressive, comes up, and I knew it. And I knew he was going to try to crush the another great guy, Michael Jackson, who's passed, but man, what an awesome friend and teammate. And Michael was new. Coach Belichick had gotten rid of Reggie Langhorne and Webster Slaughter and Brian Brennan, all the guys I was tight with. So I had to develop a new rapport, chemistry with the receivers that I hadn't done that yet. So like with Webster, Lange, Beebe and stuff, we could almost telepathically do things, but I hadn't developed that yet with Michael Jackson. I knew Bill was hot at me, but we were down and we needed to score quick. And it wasn't where you can methodically just go down the field. You had to just score. So I had saw something coming up where Dennis Smith was real aggressive. And I wanted to run a square in takeoff, 16 to 18 yards down the field, outside break, come across the middle, basic pattern in the NFL and stuff. The square in takeoff, go up 16 yards, come across 2 to 3 steps, not 1 or 2, 2 to 3, which makes it 2 to 4 yards, not 1 or 2 yards, to sell the square in part. When you haven't practiced something like that, and even how I got elevated in my conversation, you need to make an emphasis to your receivers or your players to do that. In the heat of the battle with 80,000 people around, to really make sure that somebody's on the same wavelength with you isn't easy to do. So in desperation and my inability to articulate a concise message with my words, I got onto the ground, and the field was so shitty in Cleveland. It was basically dirt. So to be able to go just down on the field and go, hey, Mike, come on, go down 16 yards, come 3 steps. I'm going to pump it and then run right to the goal posts. It was that basic,
That's awesome.
Throw that.
So just so you all know, this tablecloth now has been Bernie proofed.
It's a square and takeoff, the Michael Jackson. Yes.
Hey, this is a funny note, guys. So look, I'm going to take these Browns helmets that's already been signed by Baker Mayfield, and now we have to have Bernie sign them to make them worth something, because at one time, Baker's autographs were selling like, this is like honestly, this was a $700 helmet, and now it's worth like
$50,
$100. So now, in order to make some value, the only reason why I'm saying this, guys, if you've got anything out there signed by Baker Mayfield, send it to 5-star, send it to Primetime. Let's get your autograph signed and make it now a quarterback item, because now we can take our items that are zero value, really, add signatures to them to make them worth money. make them more valuable, more collectible, and more visible. Because if on my shelf, I really don't want to look at a Baker Mayfield autograph. But you add Bernie Kosar to it, now I've got a quarterback piece. Every time you see a Browns quarterback signing somewhere, you add a quarterback to it. So now you make your item an asset. This is how we asset our items again. So now we're going to have you sign this helmet on, anywhere over there. So here again, I say in this for the reason of if you have items that need to be signed that have Baker Mayfield, get Kosar on them, get other quarterbacks, and now you have a nice quarterback Browns history.
Oh, I love that
piece.
idea,
All right,
man.
so let's do
Yeah.
this in white. I think white will look really good. So
Somebody wants to know, and this is a good question considering he's on the finalist for the Hall of Fame this year, is how close were you with Coach Marty Schottenheimer?
I love Coach Marty. Yeah, and I absolutely love him. Absolutely want to see him get into the Hall of Fame, Matt. The love and intensity that Coach Marty had for us and what he taught me about football. Yeah, and I'm not just saying this to be nice,
Right,
man. Marty, I really love you. I wish I would have been a little more mature and understanding of some of the things that he was doing coaching wise, because Marty Schottenheimer, an outstanding winning football coach, but some of the stuff that me and Cleo and Tom you're asking about that we were talking about on air and that we talk a ton about off air is health, wellness, and all of us here and how we get healthy and stuff. Marty Schottenheimer was almost like Bill Cowher, a NFL player, special teams, inside linebacker, kind of one of those guys who plays 3, 4, 5 years. But back in the day when the backup inside linebacker was the wedge buster, was the banger on kickoff coverage, really put his body at risk. And Marty's back when he was our coach in the 80s. Heck, I'm embarrassed of some of the things I did not know and some of the things that I did from my head trauma, traumatic brain injury type things. That only in the last few years, us as a society, me as a person, trying to understand, what's happening inside my body, what's happening inside my head. I'm highly emotional now. I could end up crying, at times. I start thinking about stuff, not because I'm sad. It's just I'm so emotional. I love some stuff that happened to me. And when you talk about Marty and stuff, Marty would do that in front of our team talking. And as a 25-year-old watching a 50-year-old, emotionally have tears like that, I didn't understand that as much as I do today. And man, I understand today. And I loved you then, Marty. I even love you more for that genuine emotion. And then knowing what he was going through, because we're going through it right now too. We just didn't know it. That's kind of why I'm so open into some of the stuff that I go through, we go through, that us men and people are going through, because if great men like Marty Schottenheimer have these type issues, and he unfortunately, I love him. He died real bad, had his awesome life. The last 5-10 years with us is not fun. So some of the things that the loved ones around him, his awesome family went through, some of the things that Marty went through at the end, it's part of the reason that I'm such on a soapbox and homily for us guys, because Marty deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, an amazing influence on my life. And I ironically used to be called we used to say Marty Ball back in the day. I got to say, people say they want me as a coach, they want me back, and they say, oh, you'd be great at it. One of the reasons I'm not into the coaching world anymore is because I am into the physicalness of Marty Ball. And I believe in, unfortunately, aggressively physical football. I know what that does to our bodies. I'm not sure I want to do that to young kids with Marty and us guys back then. That was the mindset that we had. He's a gladiator as a player, but we know mostly as a coach. But some of the stuff at the end of his career and the end of his life was because he was a player. And we have the TBI, the CTE.
Okay, so I get you to sign this, but I'm gonna talk for 1 second. Let everybody know we have a 15-minute warning. So we're gonna go. We got a 15-minute warning. We're gonna get out anything else Bernie wants to get out for this show. But also right here, you have us 2 opportunities. So we have this huddle picture. This print is unbelievable. This was made by our great friend Andy Notch.
Andy Notch,
was
God
it- was
bless Andy.
Yes, for sure, great guy. He designed this piece, and it was the audible. Look, it was the snow play. So this here it was made into like an art form. We have these available, very limited. You can never get these reproduced. Very limited. We have them unframed that we will do tonight only for $300, and we also have the print framed. We'll do tonight only for $400. So if anybody wants any of these beautiful pieces, they also come with the Bernie hologram in the corner, and you're never going to find an autograph as large as we're getting Bernie to sign now. Bernie blew these things up. It almost goes from one side of the piece to the next. This is a great office piece. If you have a boss or you have someone that you need a great gift for Christmas time, will be, believe it or not, I can't believe before you know it, 3-4 months, we're talking about the holidays already.
Well, these are special ones to me. I mean, these mean a lot.
Very special.
And this cause means a lot for us, and this mission of it. It's an interesting part for the listeners out there. We get a 15-minute warning. I'm not saying this for sympathy, but like some of the stuff, Cleo, that you say cavalierly of 27 surgeries and less than 2 years, and the inability to. I mean, I don't see great, and you see, some of the issues like that, some of the things that we're masking of it. Again, not for sympathy and stuff, but leaving here for a 15-minute warning to go check yourself into the hospital to do a sleep study, and then do a brain scan tomorrow morning to see the bluntly the scarring of it. And we were signing some helmets earlier, and I signed these helmets today, and I know we got this one right here, but we're talking.
Yeah, get the helmet
over.
Yep, get a helmet over here.
So the NFL, like, they take our helmets from us after games, and when we were playing all the times, they would refinish them after every Sunday game, and we used to be really proud. We play we have the orange helmets, and then you play the Steelers. You play the Steelers, and then all of a sudden it'd be black. Right here you have cuts there. Well, they would take it, they'd refinish them every week, and then you'd end up, with this pretty looking helmet again. Well, and then you never got them at the end of the year. And I mean, this sort of is a joke. Well, one of my great teammates, great friends, the great Brian Brennan. Okay, he's a little bit known as a little bit of a miser. Okay, a little bit of cheap around. So he clipped a couple helmets from at the end of the season and put them for his charity and donated them. So it came back to me about 5 years ago, my rookie helmet. And I saw my rookie helmet, and I'm thinking of this with the literally going to a sleep study because you don't sleep, and then going to a brain scan. And when you do, look at my rookie helmet, you've got this big gash right here, okay, and you got some big gash in the back. And when I go for this PET scan tomorrow, okay, and I see this, it'll show the right frontal lobe is blue, caved in right now. And that's our short-term memory. And I think of you as a blocking fullback. I think of that big, gouge in my helmet there. And you look literally 37 years later, you look at the PET scans, and you have the damage still right there. So those are.
Well, you think thinking of the helmets, like this was the old TK helmets. If you look at the old TK helmets, there was nothing in here. Like that's all it was the TK. This was before these two played. But there's nothing in there. The old TK helmets.
I got them even worse than that.
And then you look at the helmets now. I mean, they really protect these guys.
Oh, yeah.
You guys didn't have the helmet.
Oh, God,
you didn't have a helmet like this.
No. Well, the new helmet.
You had a shell.
The shells are better. And then I was even dumber. I kept the same pair of shoulder pads for my whole 12-year career, and I would kill the equipment guy if he refinished them. So because I wanted them broken in and loose. So basically, by the end of the 8 years in, they're like this piece of paper. No wonder you have shoulder.
I got an old helmet with looks like it got a little net, a fishing net, and inside the thing to keep it for head from hitting the top of the thing. Really?
Yeah.
So I'm telling you, it was bad.
So in this the last few minutes that we're closing up here, again, if anybody wants trading cards tonight only, we're going to do trading cards for $25 shipped. If anybody wants a trading card, we got Bernie Kosar, a whole stack of Bernie Kosar trading cards that we will do. If anybody wants to receive a Bernie trading card, you can put in your request. We also have, remember these old McDonald's cards? Look at them. Those old McDonald's cards.
Scratch them babies
Yeah.
off.
So if you guys want a Bernie Kosar trading card, we have them available. If you want a Cleo Miller trading card, we have these available for $10 shipped. We have Cleo Miller cards. Just say a card, and then you'll get a random trading card by Cleo Miller for $10, or you can get a Bernie Kosar trading card for $25. All those will be certified as well, and they will be shipped. So here again, we just have a few more minutes left in this segment of Bernie time.
That card is considered my rookie card.
Okay.
I'm a rookie.
Greg Pruitt said to tell you he's praying for you, Bernie.
Oh, thank you.
Hey, Greg, I think you should ask while you weren't on here. I would be the one that didn't bring it, so don't be mad at these two.
No,
You'll
Greg,
be on very soon.
But Greg, we were talking to Dr. Aaron at QC Kinetics, so we got you and Cleo hooked up.
Well, I tell you, Greg, I laugh. Dude, that guy told me some of the best stories ever. So when you got Greg on here, we're all gonna laugh. I think Greg will be talking more than Bernie that segment though. But here again, if anybody wants an autograph, right now is your last chance to get an autograph from tonight. We also are forming a partnership. So if you want a framed piece, if you want one of your items framed, you can go to our website at Primetime 12 and get a framed item. Put a special code in there, You Matter 19. That will get you a free special gift added on. Plus, some of the proceeds will be going to our fund that we're doing for former players. We're going to start going out and helping some of the former guys that could use a little fellowship.
Yeah.
So this is our fellowship time, telling stories,
Telling
getting back
stories
and
and seriously, like
thinking about.
I mentioned Dr. Aaron, Rob at QC Kinetics, what they're doing for me, Cleo, Greg coming up, the Vitamix guys, change your diet. Think about this diet, my Emil Life and some of the vitamins and supplements. It's smart supplementation. Sometimes the supplements, the vitamins, they're minimal to no effect, actually disruptive effect on you. So you don't need 1,000 types of things, but doing it smartly with stuff that works, the spray relief, the heat waves that are going on. Some of the things I do with this, kids, and cooling your body temperature for you football players in 2-a-days, dousing your skin, your shirts, keep your body cool. Then your shoulder pads on, and then your jersey. It keeps the body cooler during those hot 2 days. They're going to be coming up for you guys. Been using this some with firemen when they go on the fires and that. There's keeping the body cool as long as possible. You're seeing these 100-degree temperatures through most of our country coming up, except here in Ohio.
I got to be honest. When we have Greg on here, I think I'm going to have more Raider stuff available. There's a great Raiders nation out there, and when Greg gets on here, a little shout out to him. He got to play in a Super Bowl, and he got himself a ring. So that's going to be when we have Greg on here. We're going to have Bernie with his ring when he was over there with Dallas, and we're going to have Greg with his ring when he was over in where the Raider Nation. It's sad that Cleveland never has got a ring. I'm a lifelong Browns fan. Never seen a Super Bowl. Never seen the big show, but it's happy to know that some of our favorite athletes have gotten to a Super Bowl, and it's just and I know it had to break Bernie's heart that he wasn't there as a Brown, but
To have been that close, it was hard, bluntly, to even think about it, take consolation in any of that, up until maybe a little bit lately and stuff.
We both was in a situation like that.
Mhm.
Because you had the fumble, the drive. Was it the drive or the fumble? Which one?
he had both.
And then, but we had the red, right.
Cleo, he had both. So let's not forget that. We've had the memories have just been nightmarish.
Mhm.
But and I got to be honest. So when you were talking about the mental health thing, that in itself is a lot of players can't. They've never gotten through even the thought of losing,
Right.
Well,
and a lot of players have taken their lives because they can't
the
deal with it.
losing, the TBI, the traumatic brain, is a real issue. So you could actually look okay on the outside and really be struggling internally. And I don't say that to
Well, I'm only
attention or
saying that-
amplify, but that's really was more of the issues, I think, with myself from the anxiety issue. I said the physical pain was somewhat maybe as an excuse of it. The anxiety / depression of trying to understand really what's happening inside your head was probably more so. And
Yeah.
that's kind of one of my crusades now, whether it's us as older guys trying to stay away from the opiate prescriptions, the Adderalls, the 5-ances, young parents out there. I go into a high school, college, pro locker room. 50 to 65% of the team is on Adderalls and Vyvanse. It's not the team's fault. They were scripted. Most of these kids have been scripted since they've been 8, 9, 10, 11 years old. Like we're almost creating these customers for life of these pills. So these are holistic ways to at least try some of this first, to not go down that pathway as your first option.
For sure. So in closing here, because if you ain't noticed, it's getting dark outside, and Cleo's half blind, so he needs to get wrapping up to get home.
Yeah.
Mama said he ain't allowed to drive out after dark, before dark.
Hey,
So
but serious. That's
it
a
is serious.
serious issue.
It
I
is.
say it as a joke.
it is.
Darkness. The remembering, if it's dark, the phone's ringing. There's some other teammates of ours, some friends of ours that are afraid to be in the car driving because of remembering where we're at.
You got the headlights coming at you.
Well, we're deer season. Them things jump out, and Cleo can't see as it is.
I'm not concerned about the deer. I'm concerned
you
about
need
the
that-
headlights
you brought
coming
that.
at me.
Yeah.
Hey, before we
The
close in
headlights-
here, but Mayor, you got a question for these two?
Mayor Billy.
Mayor or Billy? Either one of you got questions?
You already answered.
Okay, you already answered yours? All right. Denty, you got anything? Anybody else? Matt, any other final questions you want to ask? Well, listen, guys, we appreciate all of you. Like I said, this is our second show but this is our first show of Bernie's Roundtable with
friends.
Bernie and Friends, as long as, and also with this new brand of Kosar's Good Juices and Kosar's Good Life. So, anything you want to say to the end?
Yes, join our community. Follow along with us. Not just from a business standpoint, more from a lifestyle and community of health and wellness. And really, I use the "You Matter" phrase. I don't use it just for a tagline. This is lots going on in society right now. Like I say to you, Cleo, we love you. We care about you. You matter. We care about you. And there's hope out there. There's options out there. There's a pathway that we're trying to create, a community of people that want to give back and help each other, because you matter.
Okay, so here I got one more autograph, unless somebody else puts it in while we're doing this. So I'm only going to show you this. If you've got something that you ever need signed, this lady here met Bernie and sent a picture to us. We can get any item signed. We can cater to your needs. So if you ever got something that you need signed, you can text it, email it, get it to us. We'll take care of it. If you have things at your house that you want signed, and just drop it off at our store, mail it in to our stores, and we will make sure that it gets signed on one of our live shows, so you can see your item being signed. And you know, like I said, we'll be back with more. And we have Hall of Fame weekend coming up, and I believe we're going to have a couple of nice special guests potentially there. You'll have to be, you know, tune in possibly for some Miami connections.
Greg Pruitt said, "Good night. Get home safe, Cleo."
We love you, Greg.
Okay,
See you guys.
until next time.
You matter.
You
Go
matter.
Go Browns.